Friggin' what up, dude? Strider Wilson, and I'm the host of this podcast that's mine, going to be called History is Named. History is Named with Strider Wilson. This from the ground. Frickin' what is up, dude? I'm especially stoked right now because my B-Day's around the corner. And my freaking mommy got me a new freaking laptop. So I'm fired up on this, dude. Although, dude, then when you get a new piece of technology and you tell someone about it immediately, dude, there's like a million experts that hop out in your life. They're like, what'd you get? What'd you get? And then they're always a little bit disappointed because they're like, nah, dude, you should have. Like, as soon as you get something new in tech, you got like 3 or 4 friends in your crew that are like, why didn't you ask me first? Why didn't you tell me what to get? I would have told you what's good. And I'm like, well, dude, it was a gift and I'm stoked on it. Also, the laptop I had before this was from like 2011, dude. And dude, fun fact is Apple does this return policy. So I'm going to return it and they're going to recycle it. And there's probably going to be some technician and be like, this dude loved stepping into the drill factory. There's no question. This laptop has been enjoyed, dude. Just straight up, you know, just all the search history of just 35-year-olds in love, eye contact, love making, nice, serene, Danish modern style home, just, you know, picket fence outside, you know, a few rescue dogs, and just straight up simultaneousing. That's what the search history is going to be, a lot of that. So the technician can get ready for a lot of that when I return my old, one of the most important, I would say, tools within the drill factory, besides, of course, my freaking monos, dude. Freaking Angela and Jill, dude. I didn't know this one, dude, but it's a visual joke because the first hand is J, then you go I-L-L, and everyone's like, oh, everyone's first EF is Jill. Or is it Pamela or Angela, dude? Like, I don't know, dude. Just leave me alone, Dad. So anyway, dude, fired up, dude. Thank you to my mom, dude. So stoked on this, dude. And then my GF, dude, she saw this, dude, and she freaking got me final draft, dude. I'm like, dude, thank you, dude. Facilitating something in my interest, dude. This way I can start virtually penning my script for, from a few eps I dropped the idea of a valet Olympics. I'm like, dude, that's a fire idea for a movie. I'd watch that movie, dude. That'd be sick, dude. If I get Robert Pattinson to play a freaking, I don't know, dude. I just want to put that guy in there in anything, dude. The guy's freaking versatile and legit. I'm telling you. The year of Pattinson's coming, dude. It's coming. And I want him in my Valet Olympics movie when it comes out. And, you know, it's Hollywood. Hurry up and wait 17 years from now. Anyway, dude. It's fired up on that, dude. Fired up to put this new freaking piece of tech in my laptop area. I'm just going to start telling any friend that wants me that as soon as I tell them I got a new piece of technology, I'm just going to be like, yeah, dude, it's a Toshiba. I got it used. Dude, that's a Pentium 1 processor in there, right? You know, because it's number 1 processor, right? Like, that's probably the sickest one. Just watch them, their minds explode. Be like, no, what? No, I do research. I know these things. Dude, just leave me be, dude. It's just a drill factory device. I'm not doing anything nuts with it. I'm not writing algorithms here, dude. I'm freaking writing dank Valet Olympic screenplays, dude. So I'm fired up on that, dude. And, yeah, dude, you know, I'm fired up on that gift my GF got me, dude. Because, you know, she got me a gift, dude, that facilitates my individuality. And I think, you know, part of being in a relationship is you have to have a healthy dose of self, you know, and then it's the selves coming together. And so that's dank. She got me a gift that facilitates myself. And, you know, the laptop is a device that is for one's self in many ways. So that's freaking dank. Yeah, dude. Aaron, what's going on, dude? I understand on social media I saw something. Did you get a little bit of a run-in or a little bit of a misstep, dude? What's going on?
Yeah, I fell in a hole.
What?
I fell in a hole.
That's what is this? Like a drained pool type scenario? A well? Are we talking like a dog dug this? You didn't see it? You were at the dog park or something? Or what's going on?
No, it was like a 3x3, 3 feet wide on all sides by 3 feet deep. I was picking up some patio furniture because that shit's expensive.
Of course.
And a friend of ours was like, hey, we're getting rid of it. So I'm like, all right, in a global pandemic, sure.
Hell yeah, nab that up.
Sure, wipe it down.
Yep.
So we go over there, and because of social distancing and stuff, and not wanting to pick up their germs, they're like, okay, come around the side of the house, pick it up, walk it back out.
Reasonable.
There was a hole where their crawl space is.
What?
It was below ground. And I did not see it on my way back, holding a chair in my arms.
Dude.
And could have been worse.
Yeah.
But it was still pretty bad. And if I'd have hit the lip of it, I would have gone down on my face. So that would have been way worse.
Damn.
The fact that I just went straight down, and then I hit the lip on the back end. I almost went over it, really, if you think about it. But my thigh went, like mid-thigh, just bang into this brick lip on the backside of it.
Jeez.
And dead-legged me to the point where I couldn't feel my leg for like 5 minutes.
Damn.
And then by the time it came back, I was like, and I did twist my ankle too pretty bad. But thankfully, by the time it came back, I was like, okay, I know the feeling of breaking something. That's not it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think anything tore. It's just, everything's just swollen, sore, and bruised.
Probably a little contusion or something. Now this friend you picked it up, did he know this hole was there? He knew about this hole?
It was their house, yeah. There was a dead rat in it.
A dead rat?
As well, yeah.
You fell in a hole. This is an Indiana Jones type scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. Rats.
I was like,
why did it have to be rats?
If it wasn't a dead rat before, it certainly would have been after I went in it.
So you pretty much just like, you didn't lip it. You just took a step
straight down,
and the earth was not there to meet you. The earth that we so heavily rely upon every single day was just not there, and you just go straight down into this hole like a booby trap in some ancient tomb.
That feeling where you try to step on the curb and it's not quite there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Multiply that by about 3 or 4.
Terrifying.
Yeah,
when you were falling,
absolutely terrifying.
Did anything flash before your eyes? Did you see loved ones?
No, it was so fast.
Enemy?
It was so fast. I'm lucky I didn't like bite my tongue off or something like a.
Yeah.
It was just,
you know, it sounds like you had grace though. It sounds like you had grace. You were totally caught off guard.
I do tumble well.
You know, it's an art.
Yeah.
It really is an art.
I watched a lot of wrestling as a kid. I think I learned it from there.
That shit pays off.
Yeah.
And you know what I was thinking about? I just can't help but laugh. It's like when you see someone fall, immediately you're laughing. Then you're like, oh, are they okay? You know, depending on how old they are.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you're a young dude. You're not like a 75-year-old man. Like if a 75-year-old man does that, you kind of don't laugh first. You're like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh. But if it's a, you know, an able person or even like a young kid, you just immediately you're dying. I think we should do an episode on like some sort of comedy, but I think like physical comedy translates probably the best over anything. Like, I don't know, like if we'd be laughing at like Italian commedia dell'arte, we'd be like, okay. Yeah. Or like a Greek comedy, we'd be like, I don't understand what like, you know, Euripides, like that sounds like a fart joke to me. Like, I don't know that name. Like, what's going on? I don't know if it would really land. I mean, there are human elements to comedy and, you know, tap into that pathos, but it's like, physical comedy, you know, Jackass. If you were to show Jackass to some aliens, I bet you they'd be like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I like it. But dude, I'm glad you're healthy. I'm glad you're good. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Dude,
rough.
Man, you go out to take a walk. You never know. You never know what's going to be waiting for you. Just picking up some patio furniture, damn hole in the ground.
Yeah.
Dude, my brother, I was actually on a phone call. This just reminded me of walking. He told me that he was taking a walk with my mom in the neighborhood. They're walking dogs. And somebody was just walking down the street in a full-on Michael Myers costume. This was yesterday.
Oh, Jesus.
Just a dude. And then my brother's like, yeah, the dude goes up and right across from my mom's house just starts to look at himself creepily, like do the Michael Myers, like look into your soul, like dead eyes look into like the reflection of a car. And then my brother's like, what the hell? And then there was my mom's neighbor was like kind of just out in her yard. I don't know what her name was, maybe Sue or something like that, dude. And my brother's like, hey, Sue, can you want to come out here real quick, just say? And then she kind of sees this alarming person, freaking Michael Myers is looking. She's like, hey, cool costume you got there. Fun costume. Ha ha, good stuff. And then luckily, the dude in the Michael Myers costume takes off his mask and it's just like a teenager, like, yeah, I'm not going to get coronavirus in this thing. You know what I mean? Like, people are going to stay away from me for sure in this thing, which is true. Very smart. He will. The mask does have a breathable hole, so it is permeable. I think the virus can still get in there, but just for social distancing or physical distancing purposes, kind of genius, but dude, also terrifying. I don't know. I got to go with my take here. My take is you can't go out in Halloween Michael Myers costumes during these times. They're indoors. We're all already having mental, issues. If you're, I guess, quote unquote, you don't have any pre-existing issues, but if you do, they're only going to be exacerbated by these trying times we're all going through. I'm like, I don't know, dude. I kind of love it. Honestly, if the kid was like, prankster got you, I'd feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
But the fact that it was like a kid of like, yeah, people are going to stay away from me and this shit. Yeah. All right, have a good afternoon. See you guys around. See you guys at midnight. And just took off. I'm like, I don't know, man. What's your take, Aaron? I'm terrified by that.
Yeah, it's terrifying, and yeah, sure. Normal people will stay away from you in that. But policemen's bullets won't.
That's true. Exactly. This guy's putting himself.
Quick way to catch a bullet.
Mm-hmm. It's terrifying, dude. I'm like, jeez. So, that's going on. And dude, I'm scared. I get scared, dude. If I watch any, like literally to this day, I'm a full-grown adult. I still do believe Jason is going to, like, if my GF's, on a business trip or out of town and I'm sleeping alone or something like that, guaranteed in my head, I will absolutely think Jason Voorhees is coming to get me. Or when I fall asleep, Freddy Krueger is going to get me in my dreams. Like, these are still things that I think about to this day as a full-grown adult male. So that scares me even more, dude. If I see an actual Michael Myers costume, I wouldn't be sleeping if I'm my bro, is all I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm soft. I'm saying maybe I'm saying I have just a strong imagination, an active imagination, but also I am soft. I also am. I'd get killed. That and aliens. Aliens are my big thing that I'm terrified of. I watched the movie Fire in the Sky as a kid, and literally every time I see syrup, I think I've talked about this on Going Deep with you, Aaron, I still am terrified of aliens. 100%.
Yeah, I forgot about syrup, but yeah.
It's like, it's not even that they're coming for my butt. I don't even care, dude. If that's just the way you probe, that's just the way your science works. Cool. What I'm just terrified about is just, I don't know, the unknown factor. Being taken into space, dude, having to deal with the stress, people not believing in me. Terrifying. And you know what, dude? That kind of leads us into what we're going to be talking about today. Because for today's historical share, and this is the first share on the History is Dank podcast, that it comes from a suggestion from this stoker dude named freaking Dan Monahan, dude. And he said, dude, Strider, dude, what about the freaking Nazca Lines, dude? And I'm like, all right, let me look these things up. And I watched some Ancient Aliens. I get it. I enjoy that. So I was somewhat familiar, but I was fired up to do a little more research on it and share it today. So these Nazca Lines, they're considered the 8th wonder of the world. And they exist in dating back to 100 BC in friggin' straight up Peru, dude. And first of all, I want to just do a little something going on. What's going on in the world around 100 BC, dude? So freaking cruised around, just looked a few things up, dude. We've got the Pompey's conquest is going on, 65 BC. Roman forces under the command of Pompey defeated the Mithridates. Defeated Mithridates the Sixth. He's the king of Pontus, which sounds like it's another empire that the Romans were freaking doing straight up battle with in the Mediterranean. Pompey forced Mithridates, is probably the way you say his name, to flee to the eastern Black Sea regions and then to Armenia. Finally, Mithridates committed suicide, thus ending the war and giving Pompey a total victory. So just Roman dominating that area of the world, dude. In 60 BC, Pompey, Crassus, and Julius Caesar formed the triumvirate. That's freaking Julius Caesar. Gnaeus Pompey is his first name. Yeah, dude, just go by Pompey, bro. And then Marcus Crassus formed the first triumvirate to rule Rome. Each had successfully commanded Roman armies in the field. They worked together to advance each other's needs. The alliance was cemented when Caesar's daughter, Julia, married Pompey. Nice, dude. I wonder who was the schmoll of those three dudes, dude. Probably Pompey, dude. Let's see here. Yeah, a lot of Roman stuff that I've looked up, but these are the most interesting. Caesar defeated the Celtics, Helvetica tribes in 57 BC from what is modern-day Switzerland. The battle took place in Bribacate in present-day France. In the Rhine, Okay, so it becomes the frontier of the most eastern. The Rhine is the frontier of the most eastern part of France, was occupied by the Romans. So extending some of the empire. That's like the area where, if you see that movie Patton, I think he references that, where he believed in reincarnation. He thought he was like an ancient Roman general. I don't think it was Caesar, but another general that was fighting in the Rhine and stuff. Interesting movie. I'd definitely check that out. 50 BC, the kingdoms of Korea were founded. The kingdoms of Korea were, there were the Koguryo in the north, Silla in the southeast, and Pakchi in the southwest. Probably butchering all of those names, but anyway, that's what's going on. And then, so just a little bit of a sense of what's going on globally. So we've got what's going on in the South American continent, the Nazca Lines, which we're about to dive into. Of course, the Roman Empire, freaking hitting full stride with Julius Caesar, dude. It's about to become a straight up freaking dictator, dude. And then we got, some kingdoms being founded in the Far East there. China is, of course, full-fledged. You know that its history goes 5,000 years back, one of the oldest histories in the world. I'm not sure what dynasty was. I probably should have looked that up before hopping on the pod. But what fired me up was just hearing about Nazca Lines, referred to as the eighth wonder of the world. And I'm like, dude, what are the seven wonders of the world? So I figured it might be nice, a little drop that knowledge. We got, Aaron, do you think you can name any of them? Seven wonders, ancient wonders of the world?
The ancient ones? No, probably not the ancient ones.
Okay, so there's the new wonders of the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ancient ones are tough.
Ancient ones, all right, I'm going to drop it here. Great Pyramid of Giza, Egypt. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon. The Statue of Zeus at Olympia, Greece. The Temple of Artemis at Ephesus. The Mausoleum at Halicarnassus. The Colossus of Rhodes. And the Lighthouse of Alexandria, Egypt. I feel like the Lighthouse of Alexandria, Egypt is the one you always get in like trivia. Something like that, maybe the Colossus of Rhodes. But anyways, they're all like destroyed, so it's tough to know. But we're talking about the Nazca Lines. Let's go. Let's freaking go, dude. So some 250 miles south of Lima, Peru, not far from the shores of the Pacific Ocean, there is a great arid plain, the site of one of the world's oldest mysteries. So experts kind of don't know what's the point of these Nazca Lines. They exist, but for what purpose? Why? Maybe we can find out. The first published mention of the Nazca Lines was by Pedro Cisa de Leon in his book of 1553. Doesn't give me the title of the book here. And he mistook them for trail markers. Maybe he wasn't mistaking them. Maybe that's what they were. Anyway, de Leon was a conquistador. Conquistadors considered themselves to be knights in service of the Spanish, in his case, but in many cases the Portuguese crown. And this makes me think you might want to, we've all heard of Hernan Cortez for Spain. Then there's Vasco da Gama. He was a Portuguese explorer. And you can learn about him in this freaking dank book that I was kind of catching up on. And I shouldn't say catching up, but like just perusing and learning about the Lusiads by Luis Vaz de Camões. It was first published in 1572. And I say first published because this book has kind of been repurposed. You got to look at who's translating things. We kind of talked about this with the 1001 Nights episode, but like Camões was a Portuguese author and explorer. Like he went out and traveled with da Gama and stuff, and they were going along the, I believe, western coast of Africa and doing like making portland maps, the word port city. So they wouldn't really travel inside, but they'd go and find ports and set up trade and stuff like that. And they were exploring, and there's honor in exploring. So that first book was really about, this is an era of globalization and exploring the new world and everything. And the book is about, if you look at that first, I shouldn't say translation because it was written in Portuguese by Camões, is really about exploration. But then later translations in Spanish, after Sebastian, who's the king of Portugal, he decides, and he's influenced by Camões's book, to go and invade North Africa and basically wipes out all the nobility of Portugal. So then Spain just takes over Portugal because there's no like really dudes left to defend it. And so then the Spanish translation comes, and that's really about a book of like commerce. So this book goes from, you can look at it and interpret it as or I should say not commerce at that point. That's about empire, right? So Spain's coming in. So you have this noble cause of exploration. Then it just becomes about really setting about empire exploitation and colonization with the Spanish translation of it. And they even, if you look at it, it literally do that by taking the book and making it Spanish. There's, Spain would even claim, Camões is one of their own, even though he was Portuguese. In that era. Now these things have kind of been righted, and Camões as a Portuguese author and sort of like national treasure at this point is really something of like the 21st century, and then later there's even English translation by this dude Mickles, and the book is dedicated to the East India Trading Company. So then it just becomes about commerce. So it's kind of interesting, just if you look at this book, its own history is about something of exploration to then empire, and then now just about commerce. That's how it goes, baby. The dollar's making the world go round. Sort of a cynical view, but that's how it is. Anyway, back to these Nazca Lines. In 1586, Luis Monzon reported having seen ancient ruins in Peru, including the remains of roads. So then we skip some time here. We go to 1927. This is a huge jump where nobody's talking about this stuff, but we go to 1927. The Peruvian archaeologist Toribio Mejia Essepe, that's an Xesspe, spotted them while he was hiking through the foothills. He discussed them at a conference in Lima in 1939. So even some more time passes then. So it's just, this dude's cruising around. And I think he was hiking, and then a plane spotted them too in 1920. So we really had to wait for the advent of the plane to get a real sense of the scale of these lines, which we'll get into. And it's like, basically he's just freaking posting up at this conference, just talking about like, dude, there's some freaking lines out there. We don't know what's going on with them, dude. We don't know if this is some alien stuff. We don't know if this is some trail stuff, but there's the Nazca is the ancient people from that area. It's where the lines get their names from. They're the ones who created them. And dude, why are they doing that? So dude, our ancestors are posting up, creating these lines, dude. They're geniuses. Maybe there's some alien stuff going on. I don't know, dude. But then later there's this guy named Paul Kosick, an American historian from Long Island University. He's credited as the first scholar to study the Nazca Lines at length in Peru in 1940. He was studying an ancient irrigation system. He flew over the lines and realized one was in the shape of a bird. Another chance observation helped him see how the lines converged at the winter solstice in the southern hemisphere. Dude, anytime you're talking about solstices, that's raising some flags for me, bro. That's making me think of some weird eyes wide shut, cult sex orgy stuff going on. And I'm thinking, what are these lines for, dude? Just where people are, waiting for winter solstices. This is where we go and we bone. And, I'm like, this is making me think of like, now that I got my dank Final Draft software, it's making me think, this is some sort of like HBO miniseries going on, dude, where some freaking, underprivileged woman winds up dead there with like, some sort of like, a bird antler or something like that, or like a bird antlers don't even exist, but maybe anything that resembles these Nazca Lines, dude. Her body's displayed in that freaking weird, unhealthy way, dude. And like for some reason there's a sawmill located there, but why is the body not freaking cut up in the sawmill, yet it's been displayed in this way? And it is cut up, but not using the tools at the mill, but some sort of ancient tools that were used to make these lines, and what's going on, dude. And then later in episode 4, someone's freaking just chilling, flying over it, and they realize, one of the main detectives has a breakthrough. I don't know, dude. I'm getting lost in this freaking thing. All I'm saying is, I'm going to watch this series. And all I'm saying is, anytime solstice stuff gets brought up, I'm afraid. Okay? I'm terrified. If that dude was walking around in a freaking Michael Myers outfit and it was the winter solstice, I'm telling my brother, you leave that house immediately, you go check into a hotel. I don't care if COVID's going on, you're out, dude. Anyway, this guy Kosick begins to study the lines might have been created as to try to determine their purpose. He, of course, obviously that's what he's doing. He was joined by archaeologist Richard P. Shadle, dude, from the United States, and Maria Reich, Ricci, actually, like Nicole Ricci, that's how it's spelled, a German mathematician and archaeologist from Lima. To help determine the purpose of the Nazca Lines, they proposed one of the earliest reasons for the existence of the figures to markers of the horizon to show where the sun and other celestial bodies rose on a significant dates. Archaeologists, historians, and mathematicians have all tried to determine the purpose of these lines. I mean, dude, yeah, these, that kind of makes sense, dude. My freaking GF and I were on a dank little trip down in Cancun, and we went to go check out Tulum. And if you, the temples and complex there at Tulum, which is beautiful, by the way, it's like got screensaver blue water below it. It's freaking dank. And my GF crushed some weird fish the night before, dude, and she was just sweating, not feeling good. And it was like 96 degrees and like 100% humidity. She was just not enjoying the tour. I was there just taking in the knowledge, feeling fired up, dude. Listening to the guy talk about duality in the Mayan culture and stuff. It was freaking sick tour. My GF was not enjoying it though, dude, but she's a champ for making it through it, dude. She had needed freaking ginger ale and Pringles after that tour, dude. And yeah, dude, there's like the way at certain times of year the sun hits through the temple. It was basically like a way to keep the calendars. They knew when to plant stuff. It was esoteric knowledge, dude. The freaking higher ups in society possessed that knowledge. They would maybe, you know, be fictitious about it, but they're talking about the gods, and maybe they in themselves did, you know, who can know? This is just, you know, speculation. Believe that knowledge comes from the gods, but it came from people before them. And where does it come from before them? Maybe the gods, but anyways, it comes from their ancestors, and they, you know, keep that knowledge just like today with the banking system and all this stuff. You want to get into the conspiratorial stuff, dude, but it's like that knowledge, which is power, let them know they could claim to the people, oh, it's going to rain in a few months. Well, guess how they know? They know because they have these buildings that are set up like calendars, and they know how to interpret it. And so the people that don't have access to education are going, oh my God, these people are gods because it did rain. And guess what, dude? It's by the equator and it's freaking October. It's the rainy season, dude. Like now we all know that, but back then, no. So maybe the Nazca Lines had something to do with that. I'm buying it. Freaking dude. I mean, honestly, dude, freaking my dogs Chad and JT should just get down there, dude. Freaking never mind mathematicians, dude. Get some freaking stokematicians down there, dude, and freaking analyze the data, dude. Freaking just get Chad out there, dude. Freaking point his perennium at it, dude, and just interpret it that way, dude, and be like, dude, you freaking point your perennium at the supermoon, dude. It's going to get you the most amped this time of year, dude. And then I think we figure it out like that. But, you know, where are we going to get the funding, dude? You always got to get the funding. I don't know what university is going to fund freaking butthole tanning research, but honestly, dude, they should. It's progressive, dude. Let's see, dude. In any case, dude, determining how they were made has been a much easier process than determining why they were made. Scholars have theorized that the Nazca people could have used simple tools and surveying equipment to construct the lines. Archaeological surveys have found wooden stakes in the ground at the end of some of the lines, which supports the theory. One such stake was a carbon dated and was the basis for establishing the age of the design complex, 100 BC. Let's see, refuting this hypothesis, Eric von Daniken, dude, his name is almost Eric von Danken. That would have been sick, dude. That the lines have been created by ancient astronauts. Prominent skeptic Joe Nickel has reported the figures using tools and technology available to the Nazca people. Scientific American called his work remarkable in its exactness when compared to the existing lines. So these things can be created with relative ease. No need to think that freaking aliens cruised down and did it. Let's see. I mean, but you know, you get fired up on thinking it was aliens. I mean, I just get fired up thinking about stuff, dude. You know, that's kind of what fires me up the most about the Nazca Lines, which is why I am going to say this is a dank piece of history, even though maybe there's some unanswered questions about it. That's fine, dude. And I mean, dude, these things are in the desert, bro. I mean, you know, they're thinking, oh, how can you observe these lines? They're so big, you can't really observe them from an elevated point. But dude, I've been to the freaking desert, dude. I've been on a freaking hot air balloon in freaking Palm Springs, sipping on freaking Merlots and eating apples and cheese with my GF. And you know what, dude? It's a dank activity. And the Nazca Lines are located in a desert. So maybe I mean, there's no archaeological evidence of freaking hot air balloons by the ancient Nazcas, but dude, maybe there was, dude. And they were freaking just going on dates with their GFs, scoping these lines out and being like, look, dude, that's a freaking exotic bird down there. How sick is that? My friend freaking Ed, I don't know, that's not a traditional Nazca name, but, you know, maybe some dude down there with a name synonymous to Ed friggin' made that, and he's a fire artist, and that's what gets him fired up, dude. I don't know. That's another theory that I just threw out there, dude. No evidence whatsoever to support it other than hot ballooning in the desert is freaking a dank date activity, dude. Yeah, dude, most of these lines are formed in the ground by a shallow trench with a depth of 10 and 15 centimeters. That's 4 and 6 inches. So basically a decent-sized dong length of depth there. My dong would not, this is very small, reach the length to be a proper Nazca line formation. It would definitely not withstand, time in the desert. But these trenches were made by removing reddish brown iron oxide coated pebbles that covered the surface of the Nazca Desert. When this gravel is removed, the light colored clay earth exposed in the bottom of the trench produces lines and contrasts sharply in color and tone with the surrounding land surface. The sublayer contains high amounts of lime, which, with the morning mist, which this fires me up, this recipe sounds like a freaking poem right here. Lime with the morning mist hardens to form a protective layer that shields the lines from winds, thereby preventing erosion. So they're sort of in a Goldilocks condition to last through the ages in this desert climate. The Nazca drew several, let's talk a little bit about these lines, huge curvilinear animal and human figures by this technique. In total, the earthwork project is huge and complex. The area encompassing the lines is nearly 170 square miles. The largest figures can span nearly 1,200 feet. Some figures have been measured. The hummingbird is 305 feet long. The condor is 440 feet. The monkey is 190 feet. Spider is 154 feet. In the extreme dry, windless, so I guess there's relatively low wind in that desert, which is interesting. One would like to find out why. I feel like deserts are always windy. You got tumbleweed going on and stuff, but not this desert. The constant climate of the Nazca region has preserved the lines well. Yeah, we already friggin' said that, dude. Let's see. So yeah, dude. I mean, I just pulled up this last little blurb to kind of figure out the purpose. And so anthropologists, ethnologists, archaeologists have studied these lines in the culture of the Nazca people to try to determine the purpose of the lines in these figures. One hypothesis is that the Nazca people created them to be seen by deities in the sky. So are those the ancient aliens people like to talk about? But also makes sense. I mean, in Greek culture, you have Mount Olympus. I think Valhalla is located up in the sky. I mean, you look up at the cosmos. If you've ever been camping, which I like to go glamping, you go out there, if I'm in a jacuzzi, in a relatively low light pollution area, I'm going to look up. It is like I've been in Tahoe just laying down freaking fat parlays, freaking stand up paddling with my GF. And then, in the comfort of our hotel, I'll step out on the balcony. You look at the stars, a lot of us live in cities. The stars, they're freaking magnificent, dude. They're freaking majestic, dude. It will make you think, there's something else out there, It will definitely make you think that, whether you want to call that a deity, whether you want to call that aliens, I don't know. All I'm saying is stoke inducing. You light yourself up a nice little indica, dude. Nice little indica. And I don't even smoke weed, dude, because I got too much anxiety, but would make you think that's the time to do it. So maybe they were for religious purposes. Maybe they were used to walk along as part of religious rites, sort of like a walkabout that they do in Papua New Guinea or in Australia or something like that. So maybe they were used as a freaking sporting field, dude. That could be it. That'd be sick, dude. People competing out there playing freaking sick games of hide and seek or something like that. That'd be freaking tight. So just dudes posting up, dude, freaking drinking. I don't know if there's dates in that desert, but like date wine or something out there, dude. Dates of the fruit of the desert, just posting up, drinking that, dude, and watching sporting events, dude. That'd be sick, dude. So that's sick. In any case, we don't know. We can speculate. They're sick. They're there. They look dang. Go see them with your GF. Maybe hop in a freaking hot air balloon if you can to scope them out. And then I just figured, at the end of this, let's just talk a little bit, about the Nazca people. So having been heavily influenced by the preceding Paracas culture, which was known for extremely complex textiles, the Nazca produced an array of crafts and technologies such as ceramics, textiles, and geoglyphs. These are the Nazca lines. They also built an impressive system of underground aqueducts known as puquios, Puquios, that still function today. Boom. This is 100 BC. We just talked a little bit about Rome. Roman aqueducts are still used today. Dude, I love to see that the Nazcas are getting respect here for the complex culture that they had and infrastructure. Love that. From 580, the civilization started to decline. By 750 AD, the civilization had fallen completely. This is thought to have occurred when an El Nino triggered widespread and destructive flooding. Those are winds. El Nino storm, that's winds and flooding. So this desert, which didn't usually get that, was maybe more susceptible. The evidence also suggests that the Nazca people may have exacerbated, the effects of these floods by gradually cutting down Prospis pallida trees to make for the maize, that's like the corn, maize, and cotton agriculture. So they got rid of the rooting and stuff, so that's going to be more susceptible to flooding. That's like when after you, in friggin' SoCal, dude, when we have fires out here, the trees burn, there's no roots, and then when we get rains later from an El Nino, it causes a lot of flooding. Happened in Laguna Beach, might happen in like the Malibu area, hopefully not, after all the fires we had this past year. Anyway, dude, yeah, that's a little bit about these the contribution of the Nazca people. Sounds freaking dank to me. Let's take a few cues, and then we'll call it, dude. Aaron, you got anything to add? Do you know anything about Nazca Lines? I mean, you sound like you're familiar with this a little bit when we were talking about it.
Well, yeah, it's just it is crazy that they were found so long ago and then kind of like discovered, and then. But how can you really even see them if you're not in the air,
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I believe that they're aliens, but how else do you put those things down there? They're so huge.
Yeah, they're so big. It's, when I reading on it, I was like, oh, they're not, just according to that one archaeologist, he's like, he even went out and took a team. I think that dude from Long Island University went out and took a team. Oh, no, it was that Eric von Danks dude, that German dude. And he's like, oh, you could create these things with relatively simple tools, machinery. It's not like the pyramids, which are like, how do they move these megalithic rocks? But also just like the scope of it, and then how do you appreciate them? Maybe, from our modern sense, we think only we can appreciate from the air, but maybe there was something on the ground they were doing that we don't understand, Maybe some straight up friggin' ritualistic murders that need to go into my script that I was talking about, something like that. I don't know, dressing up, killing a youth, and then dressing up that youth in a, like a hummingbird or some sort of exotic bird. That was also something actually that I did read about. The birds that were, I talked about a hummingbird and then a condor. There were also other exotic birds that weren't indigenous to the region that were represented in the Nazca Lines. And it's like, well, how did that information get there? Who knows? Was there some sort of system of, they had aqueducts. There could have been a complex, Silk Road of, that region trade was taking place,
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? I think we just need to do more research. The answers might be in the ground rather than from up in the air, but maybe not. Okay. Let's see a question here. Strider, you legend. My man, thank you for always inspiring me to be the best, most dank self I can be. Dude, thank you, dude. I could have taken that out of this. Could have not read that, but I had to, dude. Just need a little pat on the back today. I just finished my junior year in high school quarantine style, which was weird, but I finished my AP United States history class, which is dank to learn about how our founding fathers spread stoke upon the newfound land. Dank. What's not dank? Question mark. A summer with my unknowns. So many questions for you, and whichever guest may or may not be gracing you with their presence on the pod of yours is this. Do you have any adventurous ideas or activities that me and my boys can partake in this summer, knowing that the only way we can be in each other's presence is by doing so outdoors? Thanks for all the positive reinforcements you are giving me during this quarantine, and keep being a legend. Much love, Duncan. Dude, sounds like you got some physical distancing out in nature on your mind, dude. I would say virtual Pong with your boys is always sick, dude. Dude, maybe if you put on some latex gloves, just go take a pig skin, dude, spray it down with some Lysol and just toss it back and forth, 40 yards, no dip to your bro, dude. Work on your get a cannon of an arm going this summer for yourself, dude. It'd be sick. Then try out for the football team your senior year, dude. Also, congrats on, doing your AP tests and freaking fire and drilling that. Yeah, dude, maybe take a camping trip. I'm not a camper, dude. I told you that. I'm soft, dude. Paintball courses sound like they're closed. Maybe you guys order some goggles and some airsoft guns and go out in someone's sick backyard, and just start freaking murking each other. Call of Duty style could be sick, you know, but definitely wear some goggles because you will take out an eye, dude. Maybe even wear a mouthpiece because you could possibly take out a tooth if you turn up the, I don't know, feet per second on there. I don't know. So that could be sick, dude. If not, dude, just play, you know, tag with your eyes. Run around, be like, dude, I see you. You're it. Doesn't sound that sick, but, you know, you're doing something together and that's tight. Other than that, dude, just freaking do push-ups and freaking bodyweight squats, dude. Maybe pick up one of your actually, that's not physical distancing. You can't do that, but yeah, dude. Sounds like dank nature, dude. Go look at some lines. Dude, honestly, dude, make some Nazca lines. Make some lines with your bros, dude. Draw a freaking dong, dude. Draw a huge Maurice-style dong, but I don't know if you're going to find a patch of land that big. Dude, might have to go out to the salt flats, dude, with your boys where they do those land speed testing and just freaking draw a fat hog out there. That could be sick activity, you know, like a hoax-style hog, and be like, where did this thing come from? It's too big to be any human dung. It must be an alien dung, you know, but really it's just Maurice's. I don't know, Aaron, what would you recommend these guys do?
I know cornhole via Zoom is pretty fun.
Oh, I love cornhole. That's a great call. Yeah. Great call.
You can play, I think you can play tennis. I think that's allowed.
Mm-hmm.
Golf.
Yep, golfing's open. Yeah. Country club style activities are open first. Go figure. Let's see here. Bro, I heard this crazy story. One, it literally might have been on Hardcore History. Love Hardcore History. Freaking Dan Collins. Or freaking Dan Carlin's legit, dude. Dan Collins is one of my friends. What up, Dan Collins? That were Europeans at the American Civil War, just checking it out to see the latest tactics. Isn't that absurd? That one, you could just watch like that without being in immediate danger, and two, those Europeans had such friggin' foresight to check it out. I wonder if it was Napoleon's squad. Anyway, appreciate any clarity you can bring to this historical sitch. Much love. Well, maybe it wouldn't have been Napoleon's squad because that was before the American Civil War. But yeah, dude, I mean, I remember watching Ken Burns' doc, and he's like, I think it was the siege of, I forget what's Vicksburg or not St. Petersburg, but siege of some burg by Grant's forces. And it was, Ken Burns referred to it as a dress rehearsal for World War I because, you know, the shells were becoming, you know, shells rather than just cannonballs. Therefore, it could be more accurate, aerodynamic, and guys were kind of sort of trenching up and everything. And so it was like kind of the first trench warfare that was taking place. That's why the casualties of the Civil War were so high. Dude, you had the technology surpassing the tactics. You know, you had these guys going out there in line formations, which is just insane to me, dude, of just like, you know, in the Revolutionary War when the technology wasn't as great, you know, it wasn't shells, it was like balls that they were firing at each other, so they could kind of go any old way. If you've been paintballing, you know what I'm talking about. You know, you kind of see your ball when you rent a gun, like veer off left or right, and you're like, what the heck, I'm shooting straight. That's why you got to upgrade, get the extended barrel. So it made sense, and it was just basically, was why the British really just, they would win because they had numbers, tactics, and discipline. Discipline is what won it. Your soldiers really firing that first volley and then going into charge after that. So yeah, dude, I'm not surprised. It's kind of crazy that people would go and, you know, watch war. But they're doing it, I guess, in their minds for greater good, to learn how to defend their country in any future engagements. Gnarly stuff. Got a suggestion here from Jake Opker. History of powerful men, he wants me to go. History of powerful men with small dongs in segments on the real history of people and events fantasized in literature and film. Yeah, I mean, that'd be sick, like a William Wallace style thing, a Braveheart thing. You know, there's a lot of YouTube shows that do that stuff, like break down the real history behind whatever scene, which are pretty sick. But yeah, I don't see any reason why we can't. Kind of did that with the Togo a while back, dude. Friggin', not a while back, but previous episode fired me up. But yeah, history of powerful men with small dongs. Speaking of Napoleon, speaking of the devil, he was small in stature. He might have had a fat hog. Who knows? But yeah, that would be interesting if we could get the research, get some confirmed, maybe primary source information on the size of an individual's dong, and then see what they accomplished in their life. You know, We could also say maybe, hey, Teddy Roosevelt did have a small dong. Maybe that's why it inspired him to be this Renaissance man. Or maybe Da Vinci did. Maybe Michelangelo did. Maybe David's dong was fashioned after his own. You know, who knows? Yeah, that sounds like a sick subject. I think, you know, maybe dude, my stuff talking about, but my small dong, it kept me. I'd say it made me develop more personality traits. You know, if I had that BDE, I might just be vaping right now. Be like, why am I going to podcast, dude? Why am I even driven to do that? I don't need people to like me, dude. I've got a fat hog that can talk for me. This is my game, But me, it's like, no, I have a small hog. I need to develop traits that will make me desirable and, be able to have someone fall in love with who I am before I reveal them. Gotcha. You stuck with this thing. So I guess what I'm saying is, appreciate my GF. All right, dude. That's the freaking app, dude. Nazca Lines, fired up. Aaron, dude, anything to add, dude? Fired up?
Dude, I don't know. I'm kind of surprised, that there isn't some sort of prank version of them where someone just drew a big dong.
I'm surprised too. Like, at least in a cornfield,
Yeah.
Has it been tough for you to hear about the Nazca Lines having recently fallen into a hole, realizing these are basically artistic holes all over the desert?
Definitely brought up some emotions.
Do you think an ancient dude was probably carrying a piece of furniture and freaking tripped on one of the lines and was like, what the heck, dude? Freaking beak of a condor just freaking made me bruise my shin, got freaking kind of angry?
I'll bet. In his rage, he decided to just extend it and make it into a drawing.
I think you're absolutely right. I think that sounds like it could be the absolute source. That's freaking dank. All right. This has been a freaking Nazca Lines, dude. Freaking email me, StriderWilsonShreds@gmail.com. Thank you guys so much for listening. Send me suggestions, send me questions. Always love sharing them. Always love shout outs. Freaking stay stoked and freaking keep freaking grilling and chilling and earning and burning and doing it right, dude. Already freaking lit.